I remember that day really well. I was age 24. My brother had flown in for the day. We had a fantastic time. I dropped him off at the airport. Now I had to drive home. It was dark, and I had 3 hours to go. So I had my coffee, I had my music. I get onto this big, busy 4-lane highway. I don't know about you, but have you ever noticed that at that time of night, that's when the big trucks come out? And I felt like I was in a convoy. And of course, all the other cars are going by, and I'm keeping up with it. And then I noticed a strange thing. The lights of the cars coming towards me and the taillights were all blending into this light show. I thought, wow, that's really amazing. And then all of a sudden I realized, boom, boom, boom. What? I'm driving on a field. A field? I looked over there, and there were the trucks and the cars going by. Somehow I had fallen asleep and threaded through all of those, and I'm now bumping along on a field. I put the brake on. I opened the door. The fresh night air kind of revived me. I walked around the car. I hadn't hit anything, but there was a bridge right there. Oh my God, I was so lucky. I got back in the car, got back on the highway, drove home, and I was fine. What I found out later is I'm not alone. It turns out 40% of all people admit to having fallen asleep at the wheel due to fatigue. Another statistic that is horrifying is that every hour, every day in the United States, somebody dies in a traffic accident because of lack of sleep. And you add that up, it is more than all the accidents from drunk driving and driving while under the influence of drugs combined. That is shocking. Well, I'm a registered nurse, and I am also a health and wellness coach. And I'm trying to help people learn how to live a long and healthy life. So I need to know what are the elements of being long and healthy forever. So I try to keep up with the latest research. Well, I just read a fascinating book. It's called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker, PhD. He's the world expert on sleep. So I read it, and I thought, my gosh, I've got to get this out to the world. Now, do you think you get enough sleep? No. Most people don't. 2/3 of people do not get the recommended 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And I bet that doesn't surprise you. But what might surprise you are what are the consequences. I'm just going to list a few. First of all, your brain. If you don't get the recommended amount of sleep on a regular basis, you're an early candidate for Alzheimer's, dementia, and other brain-related diseases. Also in the brain, you're subject to psychiatric disorders like depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts. Your body, your immune system, if you don't get enough sleep regularly, your whole immune system is compromised. You're an early candidate for cancer and other diseases. Well, think about your blood. If you go even 4 nights with not enough sleep, your blood sugar level is to the point of being pre-diabetic. And then your blood vessels are clogging up, and you're a candidate for stroke and heart disease. Have you ever felt hungry when you're tired? That's a common thing. It's because your hormones, your ghrelin and your leptin, are all discombobulated. That's the scientific term. And so what happens is you eat even though you're full. And of course, what happens? You gain weight. So you say, okay, I'll lose that weight. Forget it. The best you can do is lose lean body mass. You're not going to lose the fat. So if you add those all up, those consequences, what that says is the shorter your sleep, the shorter your life. Some people say, you know what, I'm going to sleep when I die. And if that is your maximum, well, guess what? That's what's going to happen. You're going to have a short life, and your life is going to be pretty miserable. So the World Health Organization has recently declared a sleep loss epidemic in all the industrialized nations because the effect on productivity is so severe that it's affecting that part. And scientists are pleading with doctors, please prescribe sleep, not medications to sleep. That's even worse. So the bottom line is, I see this as our wake-up call. Now, I'd like to ask you, take a moment, put your sleep mask on, and say with me, my life is worth sleeping. Life is worth sleeping. Thank you.